I'm very honored today to represent the Wisconsin Army National Guard, both on the air and on the Army side, to be part of this momentous occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, these gentlemen before us set the standard of excellence in military aviation that we strive to meet every day.
There's nothing like sharing this airplane with our citizens and giving them, you can't watch the History Channel, you can't read a book, none of it compares to actually flying the airplane. Right. And we still don't have a crew because you guys got shot at. We had no idea what that's like. No
you got shot at and you flew at 20,000 pounds heavier than you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. My name is Chris Henry. I work here at EAA. My main position is membership services and B-17 education. How the idea came about to put an entire crew back together was a conversation me and some friends were having about the fact that we're losing about 500 American World War II veterans every day, and how it was fast going to be something that we wouldn't be able to put an entire crew back together. So the ball got rolling at that point, and I started talking to some of the upper management here, the folks that work and maintain the airplane, and I had nothing but great support from them, and reached out to the local community, to Timeless Voices archives that Zach Boffman runs here at EAA, and started researching where we could find our pool of World War II veterans. And immediately we decided that we would try to get one person to represent each position of the crew that actually did it during World War II. So that on our honor flight, our Freedom Flight, we would have a bombardier from World War II, and we would have a navigator and a top turret gunner and so on. Zach Boffman provided me the roster for some of the B-17 veterans that he's done Timeless Voices with. We contacted some of those, and we got about 4 or 5 of the guys that we need right from there. Some of them were local area right here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, such as our tail gunner. Some of the others were the Milwaukee area, and our bombardier, Robert Schneider, was from the I believe up by Green Bay. We got that group together, but we still didn't have a complete crew. And we kept researching. We contacted the 8th Air Force Historical Society, and Cindy with the 8th Air Force Historical Society was able to provide us with a big list of names as well. And we called through there, and even that was a challenge. We would call homes, and either the people were no longer there, or sometimes, unfortunately, the gentleman had passed away and was no longer with us. So it was a real hunt to get the 10 guys we needed to make today's flight happen. At 10 o'clock, all the veterans arrived here today, and we had our World War II military vehicles show up from the Military Vehicle Museum. And it's cold, so we didn't think the veterans would want to ride in these open-air Jeeps and command cars. And to my surprise, they did. And they said, no, we're going in the Jeeps. And at 10:30, they loaded into the Jeeps. We had a police escort here by the city of Oshkosh Police Department. And they drove us from the main complex at the EAA Air Venture Museum over here to the Weeks Hangar, where we keep the B-17. Upon getting here and doing the crew photo and reuniting the family and the crews with the plane, we let them take a look at their old crew stations here. And then this morning, Sean gave me probably the best news that I could hear, which was, we have a hole in the weather, let's go flying. And I think there were many cheers inside the airplane at that point as well. So pushed the airplane out about 11:30, and did get the veterans about a 15-20 minute ride in the airplane. Couldn't go far, but because of weather, but at least we did get them up and flying today. There's nothing I could say that can sum up what it was like to put 10 World War II veterans back in a B-17 and go flying. It would have been a great event even if we couldn't have flown, but flying was just the icing on the cake today. And I don't think there were many dry eyes left when they landed. Thanks to the Oshkosh Fire Department here, we had a water arch spray over the airplane as the crew came back. Sean had worked it so that the flight would be known as Freedom Flight, as the radio call sign on the radio at the control tower. And we wrapped up the flight here, the event here today with the award ceremony. The U.S. Army was kind enough to send us Lieutenant Colonel Bush, who helped with the presentation of the awards. And we had lunch here served, and it was just a great day. One of the coolest things I think that we saw today was these guys that hadn't seen each other, and some of them in over 60 years. Some of them have never met, come together at this event. And you could see them, they were thrown together as a crew here today. just like they were in 1942, 43. They had never met prior to today, many of them, but this immediate friendship started, and suddenly they're comparing notes about their missions and their crews and the planes and the cities they went to. And as one of them said, this hangar turned into 1944 all over again. And to be able to provide that environment here is perhaps the most special honor that I will ever have here, is helping recreate that time period for those guys, that they were able to sort of meld together here, and they really became a World War II crew again. It was amazing to watch.
Good job. Yeah.
It was like old times. I sat in the radio room opposite the radio operator.
And that's what brought you back.
Best seat in the house.
I made it.
Congratulations.
It was still there, right?
Yeah. Good landing.
Yeah, good
Of
landing.
course, as he said, in the war, every landing was a good landing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was a good landing. When we're here.
As we're here.
Yeah.
Today, one of the questions asked by some of the folks, some of the reporters the most was why keep an airplane flying that's this expensive to operate, and all the struggles of finding parts. And the answer is because flying this airplane isn't just taking an airplane out for a ride. This airplane is a flying memorial, and it's an honor for anybody who comes near this airplane, who works on this airplane. We all are very honored to just be here with it, and we know that that's what we're doing, that it's more than just metal and rivets, it's preserving a legacy for these gentlemen. And like I said earlier, every day we lose about 500 American World War II veterans, and I can't stress enough that right now is the time to do things like this for them, to say thank you. Without these men, we wouldn't enjoy the freedoms that we have today. And I can't thank everybody enough here that came out to support this through the adverse weather conditions we had here today. Thanks to the staff of EAA to support an idea from somebody that just came in with a crazy idea and they went with it anyway. And thanks to the maintenance staff here and to the folks that operate this B-17. It's an honor to be here with them, and it's an honor to say thank you to the World War II veterans and to the greatest generation while we still have them.
What a ride. What a ride.